thoughts as you look back on last season and how everything went for 2023?
2023 was a bit of a roller coaster. We had lots of highs and we had lots of lows. The highs, we won 3 races. So we won 2 in the Delaware series and 1 in the Qwick series, which was at Delaware for the first Delaware race. We brought a lot of speed to the racetrack. Like after the season, I went through every race and wrote notes on every single race to look at what we did good, what we did bad, where we can improve, if there's circumstantial issues. And probably 3/4 of the races we ran, but from somewhere from the start of the day to the end of the day, we were probably good enough to win. Somewhere along the way, in about half of those races, we lost it somewhere between practice to qualifying to the race. And then the other, I guess it'd be 3/8 of those races, we were in contention to win and really should have had a good shot at it and had some freak mechanical issues. So we won 3. There's probably 3 or 4 other ones there that we had a really good shot at, and then something on the car just went wrong that wouldn't typically go wrong. As you know, and as we all know, that's racing, and there's not too much you can do about it in those circumstances other than just try and set yourself up for more chances like that in the future.
What would you call your most memorable moment of the season?
What would I call my most memorable moment of the season? The Canada Day win at Delaware Qwick was cool. Maybe our first win of the season on June 9th was good. We started out the season with some speed and had some good cars, and we again ran into some circumstance issues. And that first win on June 9th, we won our heat race and won the feature race, and it was kind of a perfect day. So that one was really good to get the season rolling and kind of start the momentum. I feel like that was a pivotal point to get things going after a couple not great races at the start.
What do you feel that you can work on to improve upon for 2024?
Consistency. Again, we had some really fast race cars and good nights. And we had, like I said, some cars were really good at the start of the day, but maybe at the end of the day, we lost some speed. And it only matters at the end of the day how good the car is. So we need to maybe work on that a little bit.
For sure. One of the neat things I think is cool with you in Delaware is that you guys do the big Trevor Collver night with the fans and that. How
Yeah.
fun is it like getting all the fans out one night and doing those big nights that you are able to do with them?
Yeah, I mean it's a ton of fun. I personally love every part of it. My wife, maybe not so much because she does way more work behind the scenes than I do. Me and the crew work really hard at getting the car fast for that night, but I mean, there's no way I'd be able to do it without her, and her parents help out. And my parents are usually helping me with the car, so they can't help out with that part of it. But I have so many different people that help set it up. It makes it awesome. And then the support I have from everyone in my hometown in Lucan and family, friends, and coworkers and people I've met over the years. It's a ton of fun. I think we've done it 4 times now. The first year, I think we finished 3rd. Second year, we won qualifying, the heat race, and the feature. So that was over the top. The next year, I think the next 2 years, we got 4th. But both those races, we were up towards the front. So we created some excitement. So every time we've done it, we've had a pretty good run and put on a good show for the fans. So just a little thanks to them for supporting me so much.
What is it about Delaware that you like running at each week? Because I mean that you've basically now called Delaware your home track now for a while.
Yeah. Where do you want to start? I mean, it's the fastest track of all the tracks we race at. Again, it's home for me. It's 25 minutes from my house. I grew up watching racing there. The competition there is second to none. There's so many good race cars and competitors and teams to beat there. you're built like the track is built into a hill, and it's like a dome. Like it's when you drive down the hill from Kamoka into towards the track coming to Delaware, like a lot of nights I still get chills like driving down that hill and you look and you can see this the bleachers and the lights and the everything from the distance, and it's like it's you drive down the hill and it's kind of like, okay, it's show time. Here you go. This is the big show. Time to show up and bring your A game, and I love every part of it.
So you talk about growing up watching races there. How did that turn into you getting behind the wheel yourself?
Uh, so I guess I started watching races there with my mom and my brother, my dad a little bit at a young age, and one of the well-known sponsors in the Delaware area is Ron O'Brien of Remax. He sponsored a lot of cars over the years, and actually my stepdad knew him. Kind of, they live over in the same area years ago, and I think he sold my stepdad's mom's farm. And when that was happening, they were talking about racing a little bit, and Ron was huge into racing. We were NASCAR fans. My mom was absolute diehard racing and NASCAR fan, and he mentioned, "Oh well, if the boys want to start racing at Grand Bend Speedway, I can help sponsor them and get them into it." And we started that way, and he helped us and sponsored us over the years at Grand Bend Speedway. And then after running there for a while, he came over to our house one day with a tape measure, was measuring our trailer, and like, "What are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, I want to know if we can fit a Delaware truck in here." And I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, let's get you guys a truck and get you Delaware racing." And then it can kind of transpire from there. And I just had so much support over the years to keep us going there. Um, it's funny, people always ask about my family and how I got into it. My dad and his 6 brothers are all mechanics, and my mom is a respiratory therapist, and she's the one that got me into it, because not the typical way you think, but she's a diehard fan, and she got me into it. And as the years have went on, it's kind of my dad and uncles have got more involved with helping as it's got onto the bigger cars and bigger stuff. So ton of support from family and friends.
With everything you've been able to do so far in your career, is there anything else that you'd like to get behind the wheel of and try?
Um, hmm. I raced I raced late models the very first year APC came out in 2015, and that was a lot of fun. Would I like to get back there someday? Possibly. Um, I don't know. Like I love driving race cars no matter what they are. I just love competing so much. I mean, no matter whether it's a bone stock or a late model or a super stock, I just love competing. Um, I'm not one of those guys that look at those cars and like, oh, it'll be so much fun to drive. Like, I think I say that to everything, but there's not particularly one class that I really would like to drive more than others. It's just whatever I drive or race or compete in, I just like trying to win or have a chance at winning or being relevant and competitive up front. So whatever that is, I would look forward to.
That's fair. Who would you consider your racing hero?
Hmm. Um, Back in the day, again, when we went to Delaware and watched a lot of racing, it was Steve Robley was always up front, winning races. Scott Lindsay was always up front, competing with them. Ron Sheridan, those three were the big guys in the late models that we always watched. Jamie Cox was always winning in the modifieds. Those were
Mm-hmm.
kind of the guys looked up to. DJ Kennington. So many different guys to look up on. Those would be among the top few.
What would be a piece of advice that you would offer to somebody getting started?
I would say take notes. No matter what you're doing, whether you're racing a bone stock, a late model, super stock, a mini truck, a sprint car, a junior late model, legend car, take notes at whatever you do. I mean, there's so much you can learn on a good night, a bad night, a mediocre night. Like there's so many lessons I've learned over the years, and we have a very good notebook, and we can look back on again what we've done right, what we've done wrong, and just take notes and ask questions to people around you. There's so many people in this sport that are willing to help that you might not think they are. It's a pretty welcoming sport. So take notes and ask questions.